240 million years ago, only one continent, that's Pangaea. Pangaea broke to Laurasia and Gondwana plate continent, and Gondwana separate to African continent, Indian continent, South American continent, Antarctic continent, and Sahel continent. The Sahel continent make New Guinea Island and Australia. Before the glacier, Australia and New Guinea connected, so make immigration of the human and animals.
The fourth meeting of the 14th session of the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues is called to order. Distinguished members of the Forum, distinguished observers, friends, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon we shall consider Agenda Item 4, half-day discussion on the Pacific region. We will begin. I now give the floor to the West Papua Interest Association, Ronald Waromi.
Distinguished Madam Chairperson of the United Nations Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues and members, Indigenous brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for giving us, the West Papua Indigenous people, the opportunity for presenting our statement in the 14th session of the UN Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. It is over 52 years since 1963, West Papua joined with Indonesia through the dishonest result of the Act of Free Choice in 1969. Our human rights and fundamental freedom in West Papua have never been fully guaranteed. This political process is still being questioned by West Papua indigenous people and have called for independence. We West Papua indigenous people continue to suffer discrimination, marginalization, extreme poverty, the conflict and human rights abuses, our race and way of life under the threat of extinction. In the era of the implementation of the Special Autonomy Law number 21, of the year 2001, amidst various humanitarian problems and not shown any significant change. However, indigenous people of West Papua rejected the acceleration of development in Papua and West Papua province and the special autonomy and continue call for self-determination and independence. Human rights violations in West Papua continue to increase in several places in West Papua, such as in Serui, Paniai, and in Tembagapura, the area of PT Freeport Indonesia Gold and Copper Mining Company in Timika, which recently about 116 indigenous community has been taken handcuffed by Indonesian police to Timika police station, which still in trauma situation. As we all know, that UN Secretary General has been paying attention to the fate of the convict execution known as the Bali 9, just got to be a treat in execution, but not in execution. But how about too many indigenous people of West Papua and human rights defenders in West Papua which have been killed? The human rights violation which continue to occur among indigenous West Papuan, which was highlighted in the report of Human Rights Council Working Group on Universal Periodic Review 13th session, and to be known by the international community. indigenous people of West Papua face human rights violation because of their demand for self-determination and independence, but human rights violation in West Papua has been forgotten. Therefore, through this 14th session of the UNPFII, we call upon Special Rapporteur on the right of indigenous people to conduct country visit to Indonesia, West Papua, to see from the very closely the situation of indigenous people of West Papua near and around the Tembagapura area of PT Freeport Gold and Copper Mining Company in Timika, West Papua. We call upon United Nations to follow up the report of the study on decolonization in the Pacific by Ms. Falmin Toki. We West Papua indigenous people call upon the United Nations for exercising the referendum on self-determination to determine our political status according to the provision contained in the Charter of the United Nations, Article 1 of the ICCPR, ISEC, and the Article 3 of the UN Declaration on the Right of Indigenous People, which state that all people and indigenous people have the right to self-determination. I thank you for your attention.
I'd like to thank Ronald Waromi for his statement and again express my gratitude for you staying under the time limit. We appreciate that.
This is our flag from West Papua. From West Papua. Independent from Indonesia. Because United Nations is occupation with their resolution 448. So I am from Europe. Oh, I am from Ireland. We want to independent from Indonesia.
Yeah, I can see.
Yes.
Here on the news.
Yes.
I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Some people have to stop.
We push them because that's support, that's afraid Indonesian with Indonesian communists, and then finally US press that to transfer the administration of West New Guinea to Indonesia. So we come here, we are as the indigenous people of our island.
Syom ya sali